And a hush fell over the crowd.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I missed y'all last week. I hear that the whole weekend was a roaring success. So I was so happy to hear that. It's a beautiful morning, beautiful fall morning. My name is Janice Gilmore, and I'm your celebration assistant today. And this gentleman over here to my left is our senior minister.
Good morning.
And the beautiful woman to my right is our music director, Blair Jones, with her wonderful band and great singers. So without further ado, let's sing.
All right, we're going to, this is a song we haven't done for a long time, so we're going to teach you the chorus. You have to sing on this because this is one of those rip-roaring ones, okay? Here's the chorus. Are y'all ready to sing it? Here we go. 1, 2. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be a hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. You got it? Everybody ready? You want to do it one more time before? Okay, look, they're not giving me any kind of. All right, you got it. Okay,
Feel free to stand with.
It's called stand
It's
together.
called stand together.
Let's stand together.
Let's stand together.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's stand together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Something great has happened in love and hold it. Let go of the man. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion. We're drifting one ocean, roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Here we go. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Oh, stand together. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine. Yeah, with that vision and dance in new directions. Grow to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word, one dream, one voice, one heart, one dream, one voice, one heart, one dream, one voice, one heart, one together now. We hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who make a difference. Let's stand
together. Changes in the world that's changing, for change we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. Let the dream of your highest calling. We can hope for a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make your difference. Let's stand together. Changes the world that's changing, for change we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Let's stand together. Stand together. Wow.
Are you awake? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity of Charlottesville. Welcome to everybody who's online. And if you're online today, you may notice that there is hopefully an improvement in video. We have brand new cameras that Amy has been working so hard to set up for these last several months. And we're doing our actual live testing today with this new camera. So everything should be much, much clearer. You should be able to see what's on the screen. And hopefully a beautiful shot of the floor. You'll be okay with it. Amy's still learning this stuff. So welcome to Unity. Unity welcomes people of all faiths, all religions, cultures, all gender orientation, all sexual orientation, and identity, I should say, and all political parties are welcome here as well. So we begin with prayer, and you guys want to come in? See a bunch of people back. Yeah, come on in. So I invite you to take a deep breath. This beautiful, beautiful fall day. And we come here, this is really about remembrance, just to kind of remember who we are, to remember what we are, to deeply connect with ourselves, others, with God of our understanding. And so we come together as a spiritual discipline, a spiritual practice, to worship together, to celebrate together, hold each other up. Each of us has deep yearnings, deep desires. We may be facing challenges or difficult situations. We certainly know that our world is facing difficult challenges this day. And so we come together in peace. We come together to stand together for spiritual growth, for love, for kindness, and peace. And so we give thanks for our blessings. We send light to those who are affected by these hurricanes, southeast. Certainly for the Middle East, we pray for a tamping down of all violence and hatred there. We send forth peace and love to Ukraine and to our world and to our community. And we pray in the name and after the nature of the indwelling Christ. So it is. Amen.
And let's conclude by sharing together our statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God good. And it's that time. Just greet our neighbors with a wave, a handshake, a hug. You can roam the room. Feel free, maybe say hello to someone you've never met before. I'm in the right place
at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
There we go. Put your hands together.
I'm in the right place, right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
And we welcome Robin and her tribe.
Good morning. Today is a day that's been outside in the sunshine. We're going to get out there and take a look at huge mulch pile that was delivered, and we might start spreading it a little bit. And do some games, teamwork out in the backyard today. All ages join together. So if you're here for youth, then join me in the back of the room in just a few minutes. And let's do the blessing. Oh, there it is. Halloween Festival, October 27th. I hope you've all marked your calendars by now. It's for everyone, all ages, all are welcome to join us in costume or not in costume. We need a few more volunteers, so if you'd like to help us either set up for an hour or two, or if you can help us during the festival, please let me know, or put your name on the clipboard that's on the youth and family table in the lobby. Details? All right, children. Viewers, teachers, and special reports.
So we have some opportunities for transformation.
So we are having our second Earth meeting. Peter's in the back, but I'm speaking for him as well. We'll be starting exactly at 12:15. So we've been starting and ending on time. You don't have to have the first meeting to come to the second meeting. So if you're interested, if you want to find out what we're doing, please come. We're still in the sort of organizing stages, but we'd love to have you. Something else that isn't on the slides, but I want to announce is that we're going to do a work day, a Unity work day on our campus on Sunday, November 17th after the hub. So we'll get more details for you about that, but there's plenty of things for us to tackle that day.
Thanks, Tony. And next week, the 20th, is our annual meeting, Unity's 2024 annual meeting. This is a really important day. Bob, there's a ring and kind of muddiness. Okay. So we're going to elect new boards of trustees, and the nominees this year are Katie Zamino and Christine Lotzi. And we'll also be, yes, please. And we'll also be electing a nominating team who will select, if you can believe it or not, the 2026 Board of Trustees. So, but there's other things that go on at the annual meeting too. The board will give you a financial presentation and a financial update of all the things that are going on. We'll have ministry updates from the youth ed department, from me, from other departments as well. So the idea is just to give everybody an update, keep everybody well informed about what's happening here at the ministry. So whether you're a voting member or not, everybody's welcome, but only voting members can vote. So I hope you'll come next Sunday, and we'll be right here in the sanctuary.
Miss Patricia, Reverend Patricia has something to share with us.
Good.
Good morning, everyone. 13 days from today is the autumn meditation retreat. And many of you are signed up, I know. Today is the last day for the early bird amount to sign up today. So do the next slide.
Oh, yes.
I wanted to show you, this is when we were, this was our spring meditation retreat, and that's in the gardens that you know you're working on. And this was the winter meditation retreat. You'll see many smiling faces you recognize. And I thought the best thing to do today would be just to tell you a couple of things that the participants shared about the retreat, coming from their own words. In the retreat, you will have opportunities to have gentle personal venture inward, delicious moments of peace and calm, intriguing insights into the connectedness of the aspects of our inner being and our fellow humans. The meditation retreat was a great way to deepen your meditation practice. Rev Patricia led practices that can easily be repeated in your daily practice, along with nutritional and exercise. And if you want to remember how to breathe again in this chaotic world, this is an event to gift to yourself. So I really encourage you to consider and come and join me on this fourth of our series of meditation retreats. It's all day here in the sanctuary, and I promise you by the end of the day, you will be just floating out, floating in your life. So thank you so much for listening, and see you then.
Don't go. Wait. Not only is it Patricia's birthday today, but we have lots of October birthdays. If you have an October birthday, can you stand up? Stand up and yes, Blair's at the end of the month.
Fellow
Who
Libras,
else we got?
unite.
Peggy Ruth, Marlene, you standing too? Yep, okay. All right. Hit it.
Happy birthday to
you.
Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday to
Libras. Happy birthday to us. We love you. And all Libras, yes.
So Labyrinth Walk on November 3rd with Marianne Walk. She's a certified labyrinth trainer. Worked with the Grace Cathedral out in California, San Francisco, and everybody's invited to do that. And Gary Renard, the author of Disappearance, he's one of the foremost Course in Miracles teachers in the country, and you can check him out. He's written a number of books. Broad international personality in a number of books. So he's coming from California, and you can check him out on our website. You can check him out on YouTube. He's doing an all-day workshop on going on. So check into that. Just check it out. And Kate McLeod is our next concert series, Saturday, November 16th. Her music is on her website if you wanted to listen to her and see if you can come to that or not.
And we're still taking donations for our Asheville. Jim's son is one of those, and we've been praying for everyone who's struggling now. And the donations end on October 19th. It can be left in the night.
And Jim's just back. Jim's just back from Nashville. He made all of the generous donated.
Good morning. I was told to be brief. If I'm not brief, the music will start like Oscars. People would
No, we start walking towards you like this.
Real quick, down on Monday with your stuff. They thank you very much. There's a beautiful drive down there in 81, and then south on I. And then the 40-foot wide river, wide mud field, and this is in Irwin, Tennessee. But you've probably seen some in the news that the are bringing the and supplies in. My son Noah is from Bellingham. He did get a generator, and so now we have a road or actual power. So anyway, but they're doing good. They look really good, and thank you very much.
And what Jim didn't mention, that he mentioned, that stepson Noah is helping dig other people up. May our prayers be with him. Our healing half hour continues on Wednesday night at 6:30 on Zoom. Join if you'd like to. And now we complete our sharing our mission statement. Unity of Charlottesville empowers everyone to express their unique divinity, make a positive difference in the world. And
We invite you to sing along with us on the chorus. We expect you to sing along. 1, 2, 3. I've been looking out on the morning rain, wake up in the middle of the dream. One more chance to begin again and do the right thing. I got no faith in the powers that be. Wake up in the middle of the dream. Looks like the change is up to me. Do the right thing. Take heart, wake up in the middle of the dream. Take heart and do the right thing. Take heart, wake up in the middle of the dream. Take heart and do the right thing. Sins of the fathers dead and gone, wake up in the middle of the dream. Lift their souls and carry on, do the right thing. Call up the ones that you trust the most, wake up in the middle of a dream. Mother, daughter, Holy Ghost, do the right thing. Take heart, wake up in the middle of a dream. Take heart and do the right thing. Take heart, wake up in the middle of a dream. Take heart and do the right thing. There's a greeting underneath the winter snow, and a feeling that we're guided as we go. There's a silver moon horizon, nobody's keeping score. The differences don't matter anymore. Hearts of the hungry, far from home, wake up in the middle of a dream. Give them shelter, share their load. Beyond belief, beyond the blood, wake up in the middle of a dream. We got to place our faith in the power of love. Do the right thing. Take heart, wake up in the middle of a dream. Take heart and do the right thing. Take heart, wake up in the middle of a dream. Take heart and do the right thing. Take heart and do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Well, at Sunday school, the 7-year-old children were learning about how God created everything, and specifically how God created all the human beings. And Johnny was especially intent when the teacher told him how Eve was created out of one of Adam's ribs. And later in the week, Johnny's mother went into his room and found him lying in bed as if he was ill. She said, "Johnny, what's the matter?" And he said, I have a pain in my side. I think I'm about to have a wife. Words matter. So, did you ever say no to someone or something when in your heart you really meant to say yes? Or say yes to someone or something when in your heart you really meant to say no? Or did you ever hurt someone that you loved when you really didn't mean to? It's as if we have different parts or personalities that are constantly communicating with each other or trying to communicate with each other inside our heads. And they seem to be autonomous, as if there's some other part of us, something apart from the real us, this internal thing going on. Paul alludes to this in the book of Romans 7:15 when he says, "I do not understand my own actions, for I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing that I hate." So today we're going to explore this phenomenon a little bit through the eyes of Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote who really spoke about the Toltec wisdom tradition. He wrote books about the wisdom tradition. And the Toltecs lived in Central America in the 6th to 12th centuries. They were great scientists and artists and builders. They were conquered by the Mayans, who were then conquered by the Aztecs. And like many civilizations, the Toltec had a secret wisdom tradition, and that's what Don Miguel writes about. How many of you have read the Four Agreements? Lots of people. Okay. So that was Don Miguel's first book, The Four Agreements. Very, very profound agreements that, if practiced, are a foundation for a really good and awake life. And this is what the Four Agreements are. To be impeccable with your word, that's the first agreement. To speak with integrity, say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others, and use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. And then the second agreement is don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say or do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. And when you are immune to the options and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. And then the third agreement is don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. And the third agreement, always do your best. The fourth agreement, always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you're healthy as opposed to when you're sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. So this is powerful stuff, right? And then later he came out with a fifth agreement. The fifth agreement is to be skeptical, but learn to listen. Don't believe yourself or anybody else. Use the power of doubt to question everything you hear. Is it really the truth? Listen to the intent behind the words, and you will understand the real message. So can you imagine what it would be like if we practiced these 5 agreements every day? Or if everybody, or at least the people around us, practiced these agreements? It'd be a different kind of world, wouldn't it? So to begin with, I want to look back to the allegory of Adam and Eve from the perspective of the Toltecs as told by Don Miguel Ruiz. And in the story of Adam and Eve, there's a time of innocence. Adam and Eve live in paradise. It's a time of harmony and peace and love and connection with God. There's no separation from the Creator. And then along comes the serpent, who is described by Ruiz as a fallen angel or the prince of lies. And the serpent lives in the tree of knowledge and is really the first storyteller. So God has forbidden Adam and Eve to eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, but the serpent, with its cunning stories and its lies, convinces Eve to eat it anyway. And Ruiz says that when Eve eats this fruit, what she's really doing is she's eating lies. And eating a lie means believing a lie to be the truth, or investing faith in a lie, so that when we eat a lie, the lie lives within us. For example, you can ask a friend what she thinks about so-and-so, right? And someone you've never met. And your friend says, well, they're not very honest. And then you meet that person for the first time. And your experience of that person is shaded or biased by what your friend said, which may or may not be true, right? That's what eating a lie is about. So the Toltec had a name for the Prince of Lies. They called it the parasite. And in the story of Adam and Eve, the parasite lives in the fruit. And when Adam and Eve eat this fruit, now the parasite lives within them as well. And when this happens, the dream of heaven becomes the dream of hell. So Ruiz writes, before humans ate the fruit of the tree of knowledge, we lived in truth. We spoke only truth. We lived and loved without any fear. After we ate the fruit, we felt guilt and shame. We judged ourselves as no longer good enough. And of course, we judged others the same way. And with judgment came polarity, separation, and the need to punish and be punished. For the first time, we were no longer kind to one another. We no longer respected and loved all of God's creation. And now we suffered, and we began to blame ourselves, to blame other people, and to blame God. We no longer believed that God was loving and just. We believed that God would punish us. For us, it was a lie. It was not true. But we believed it, and we separated from God. And so Ruiz says that the original sin is not about disobeying God. The original sin is about the lie of separation from God. And like Adam and Eve, the parasite lives in our heads as well. It's the voice that talks and talks and talks, continual, endless conversation in our heads that are mostly lies. Ruiz says that the parasite has different names. We call it the Prince of Lies, the storyteller that lives in our heads, and the voice of knowledge. Now, the voice of knowledge isn't how we usually think of knowledge. We usually think of knowledge as something that's good and useful and true. But Don Miguel says that this voice of knowledge is primarily the voice of ongoing lies that's in constant internal dialogue in our heads, right? We develop this internal dialogue because we're born into a world of storytellers. Our teachers, our parents, our friends, our loved ones, our siblings are all telling us who and what we are. They're telling us who and what we're not. They're telling us what we could do or what we should do. And so at an early age, we begin to agree with what the storytellers are telling us. And as we become more proficient in language, we begin to qualify and to interpret and to judge everything. We begin to create our own stories. And the Toltecs call this dreaming. Are you with me so far? Okay, so this means that we are all storytellers. That's the bottom line. We're all storytellers, and we're all dreaming our own dreams, our own stories. So there's a Tibetan Buddhist story in which a man is having a nightmare, and in the nightmare, a huge monster looms over him with large, fierce, scary eyes and huge, ugly fangs. The man looks up the monster and screams, "What should I do? What should I do? What should I do?" And the monster says, "How should I know? You're the one having the dream." All right? So Don Miguel says that humans are the storytellers of God. There is something that exists inside all of us that can make an interpretation of everything that we perceive. We are like God's journalists. I like that. We're God's journalists trying to explain whatever happens around us. It is our nature to make up stories. And this is why we create language. And this is why all the world's religions create beautiful mythology. So there's something magnificent about being a storyteller. Being a storyteller means that we're also great artists. And we create our art through the power of our word, through the power of our expression. And according to the Toltecs, this is one of the greatest gifts that we have as human beings. is that our ability to tell stories. So a few days ago, the 2024 Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to a Japanese organization called Nihon Hidankyo for its efforts to achieve a world free of nuclear weapons. And Nihon Hidankyo was formed by survivors of the atomic bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the only two nuclear bombs ever to be used in war, even though Putin is now threatening still. The survivors were known as hibakusha, and they've dedicated their lives to trying to rid the world of nuclear weapons. And so in 1956, local hibakusha groups banded together, they started banding together, and over the decades, they've collected thousands of stories and witness accounts, and they've sent annual delegations to the UN and to peace conferences around the world, pressing for nuclear disarmament. And in the award presentation, the prize committee said, the hibakusha help us to describe the indescribable, to think the unthinkable, and to somehow grasp the incomprehensible pain and suffering caused by nuclear weapons. And that's the power of story. That's the power of story, and how storytelling can inform and keep truth alive and keep the continuity of the human experience alive. And human beings seem to have a need to describe, and to explain, and to express what it is that we perceive. But there are some truths that can't be described, that are difficult. And the great mystics throughout the ages have said that as soon as we try to describe ultimate truth, that the truth begins to be distorted. That's why we have religious wars. So, as an example of this, Ruiz says, suppose you meet Picasso, and he agrees to paint your picture, and so you pose for him. And when he finishes, you look at the picture, and you see that it's all blue. It's in cubes. You have only one eye, and it's dangling in space. You have only one ear, and it's triangular and distorted. And so you say to Picasso, this isn't me. And Picasso says, this is how I see you. This is an expression of my art. This is my truth. And you can buy it for $20 million. So every human being is a storyteller. Every human being is an artist. We use words to create our portrait of reality. And so our stories are really virtual realities. They're projections that we make up. And the question is, what kind of art are we creating? That's the question, right? What kind of story are we creating? Are we creating a story that's of beauty and happiness, or are we creating a story of suffering and unhappiness? And in relationships, this becomes a very interesting concept. Because when we meet someone, they're perceiving us from their story, and we're perceiving them from our story. Both are artistic expressions. Both are our projections of virtual realities that each person creates. And this is why Don Miguel says to never take anything personally. Because if someone says something bad about you, it's from the perspective of their story. It's not about you, right? It's not about you. It's about them. It's about what they've created, about the story that they've created. And so if you listen with detachment, as if you're listening or experiencing their art form, you can begin to appreciate their story from the perspective of one artist to another artist. Isn't that interesting? You can think to yourself, isn't it interesting what they've created? Isn't that interesting? You don't have to believe that what they said is true about you, because it's not about you, it's about them, it's about their story. So can you imagine going to your family Thanksgiving gathering with this kind of perspective, right? Siblings, friends, relatives that used to push your buttons, now you become interested in their expressions of their art, right? You can listen and appreciate their form, their art form, and the artist without buying into their projections. That's kind of the key to it, right? Because it's not about you, it's about them. So when your brother or sister says, why are you wearing your hair like that, in a very critical kind of way, you can think to yourself, what an interesting choice of perspective. You know, what an interesting choice of perspective they've created in their story. So according to the Toltecs, one of the first goals of the Toltec is called the mastery of awareness, which means returning to our integrity, the truth of who we really are. Before we learned all the lies that we were taught, the truth of who we are, and before we learned any language. Remember, Jesus said, truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. So like that, we must regain our innocence and the wisdom of a child. And so what are some of the lies that we hear when we're growing up? Some of the stories that we hear that you know, who do you think you are? Look at you, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not lovable, you're not, nobody understands you, people don't like you, you can never succeed, you'll never be happy or prosperous, you'll never meet the right man or the right woman. These are the voices that go on and on and on in our heads, voices of self-doubt and criticism and judgment and blame and shame. The voice of knowledge within our heads is telling us its point of view in a conversation that never ends, gossiping about us and gossiping about others, and usually lying. So the goal of the mastery of awareness is to break through these lies. And the Toltec says that these lies are a mental disease that's contagious because they're transmitted from human to human, right? And the symptoms are fear, anger, hatred, conflict, sadness, separation. And so how do we break out of the lies? Well, the answer is to know the truth. The Toltecs, as did Jesus, believe that truth will make you free. Know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And how do we know the truth? How do we know the truth through all the lies and through all of this endless internal dialogue? How do we distinguish the truth from the lies? That's a big question. It's become a big question in the political arena over these last 9 or 10 years when lying and hate speech have become so normalized. Don Miguel says that the voice of lies is usually very loud, and the voice of truth is very quiet. So how do we find the voice of truth? How do we do that is to cultivate inner silence. And Don Miguel says that the prayer is the bridge from the real you to divine spirit. It's an intense action of internal dialogue. That's an interesting definition of prayer. You know, Fillmore called it an accelerated mind action. What the Toltecs are saying is that it's an intense action to stop the internal dialogue and to reclaim our life from the superstition of who we believe we are. And so one of the things that happens when we cultivate inner silence and make the connection through prayer is that our faith becomes stronger. And the question is, where are we putting our faith, right? Are we investing our faith in lies, or are we investing our faith in the truth that we are whole and perfect divine expressions of the Creator, the life force of the Creator? If we want to change where our faith is invested, we have to challenge what we believe we are, especially beliefs that limit our self-expression and our happiness. So how many of you have seen the movie A Beautiful Mind? Many. So, you know, it was a true story about a Nobel Prize-winning mathematician who was schizophrenic. And he sees the people in his life that he appear to be real. They're not real in this other reality, but for him, his visions become real. And he invests his faith in these visions. And as he progresses through his disease, he begins to gain awareness through his healing process. And he realizes that this investment of faith in his visions of people who aren't there is causing him and his wife harm. It's actually destroying his life. And so what does he do? He stops giving his visions power. He still sees the people that he made up in his mind. They still follow him around at a distance, but he refuses to communicate with them. He refuses to give them power. And it's the same thing with us. We can stop believing the lies that we've come to believe is true. And when we do that, they no longer have power over us. So if I have a thought that I'm not good enough, I can deny that that thought has any power over me. And this is a fundamental teaching of unity, about denials and affirmations, that many people who've studied unity for a very long time don't practice these very powerful tools of affirmation and denial on a regular basis. But these tools are helpful in entraining our minds and distinguishing the lies that we tell ourselves from the truth of who we really are. And we do that, we recover our freedom, we recover our integrity. And this process of awakening is what the Toltecs call the dream of the second attention, the dream of the second attention. And this is where we begin to realize that we have choice. We have choice about what we want to believe. We have choice about where to put our faith. We have choice about what kind of story, what kind of art we create for ourselves. And so we stop listening to the voice of knowledge within our heads. We stop giving lies power. We begin to live our lives from integrity, from the truth of who we really are. And that's a pretty worthy quest, don't you think? Yes? No? Yeah? It's the quest that Jesus made when he went into the desert. It's the quest that Buddha made when he left his palace and sat under a Bodhi tree. It's the quest that Moses made when he went into the wilderness and climbed up to Mount Sinai. And I'm very sure it's the quest that many of us in this room have devoted our lives to. And Ruiz says that this is the highest goal of our humanity, what the Toltecs call the mastery of transformation. And the mastery of transformation is about changing the story of our life. And the way that we do that is to transform what we believe about ourselves, to unlearn what we've already learned from the storytellers in our lives and the storyteller in our head. Because the storytellers are always trying to tell us what to believe, right? Even now. So if you look at all the stories that are being thrown at us during this election cycle, all the hate speech and all the conspiracy theories, and the tragedy is such a tragedy that half the country falls for it, right? Half the country believes it. So we've talked about the mastery of awareness and the mastery of transformation and cultivating inner silence and beginning to distinguish what the lies in our heads are telling us and refusing to give them power, using denials and affirmations so that we can perfect our art of creating the story that we want. And the last thing that we need to talk about is how to treat ourselves with love and respect. And Don Miguel says that we don't have to learn how to love ourselves because we are love. That's our essential nature. What we do have to do is to unlearn all of the reasons why we reject ourselves, why we think we're not lovable. And many of us have had very difficult experiences in the past with love. And we've developed beliefs maybe that love hurts or that love isn't safe. But, what if that's just a story? A story that we made up based on our past experiences. What if we had the power to change that story and create a different story that says that we are worthy and deserving of love, that love is possible, love is attainable, and that whatever happened in my past relationship wasn't only about me, it was about the other person's story as well, about their projections from their story, from the knowledge and the lies in their heads, and their projections and distortions about me, just as I had stories and projections in my head about them. So we don't have to search for love because love is right here, right now, right within us right now. There's nothing to get from anyone else, right? Love is here because God is here, because God is love. And the force of life is everywhere. All we have to do is to open our spiritual eyes. That is the mastery of transformation. And how would we know that we've mastered love? How would we know? So Don Miguel says that when the story we tell ourselves becomes an ongoing romance, and our life becomes a masterpiece of art, a masterpiece of love, peace, joy, and happiness. And that's the kingdom of heaven, right? The kingdom of heaven that Jesus spoke of right here, right now, within us. So I want to close with the words of Don Miguel. He said, if you can see yourself as an artist and you can see that your life is your own creation, then why not create the most beautiful story for yourself? Why not? It's your story, and it's just a choice. So let's prepare for meditation.
I see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the greatness in you. And so it is. I see the child in you. I see the sweetness in you. I see the softness in you. And so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the goodness in you. I see the wisdom in you. I see the strength in you. And so it is. I see the joy in you. I see your light shining through. I see the love that's in you. And so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the grace that's in you. I see the courage in you. I see the heart in you. And so it is. I see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the greatness in you. And so it is. I see the beauty in you. And so it is. I see the goodness in you. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is.
So we want to continue in this time of meditation. What kind of story would you like to create? And one of the ways that we can create stories is to distinguish the lies in our head from the truth. And one of the ways to do that is through affirmations and denials. So I'm going to invite you to just take my words into your meditation as your words, as we affirm the truth that we know from all the masters, that you are worthy and deserving. And we say that in an I am statement. I am worthy and deserving of love. I am worthy and deserving of love. I am open and receptive to the movement of divine wisdom within me. I am open to the movement of divine spirit within me. My body temple is alive with health and wholeness. My body temple is alive with health and wholeness. I am abundantly prosperous and I receive all that I need. I am abundantly prosperous and I receive all that I need. Nothing and no one can disturb the calm peace of my soul. Nothing and no one can disturb the calm peace of my soul. Let's take some of these ideas now and thoughts into the silence. And when you hear a voice within you that says, that's not true, you can just say, thank you for sharing in the silence. our words, our stories, or expressions of our art. And so today and this week, as we move forward, we get to choose where we put our faith. We get to choose the stories that we want to create for ourselves. And we move forward in this process towards our mastery of transformation. And so let's begin to come out slowly, open your eyes when it feels comfortable.
Thank you, Don, for that wonderful message. I did not know Don Miguel Ruiz had developed a fifth agreement. That's thrilling to know. I just love Unity of Charlottesville so much from the bottom of my heart. No matter how I'm impacted by the external world during the week, I come in here on Sunday morning and I leave remembering the truth of who I am. And I don't know about y'all, but I do not want to be quiet about that anymore. So if you want to join me, let's speak our truth loudly. And we now have an opportunity to give back a portion of the good we've received from this beautiful ministry. But before we do that, I'd like to ask if anyone's here for the very first time. Welcome. We're so glad you joined us.
Is anyone here for the second time?
Is anyone here for the second time? Can we hear a third? And anyone online, if you're joining us for the first time, maybe you join us in the sanctuary at some point if you're able. So there are many ways to give to Unity of Charlottesville. Online, text to give, the U.S. mail, or give when you're here into our butterfly net that Barbara will be bringing around in just a moment. We are so grateful for all of you, for all of your tithes, your monetary tithes, your tithes of your time and your talent. We love you dearly. We wouldn't be here without you. So let's together share our blessings of tithes and offerings. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And it's time for more music.
Well, won't surprise you that we are inviting you to sing along on the chorus of this song.
And it was written by our own Blair Jones.
So,
Yeehaw,
all the
right.
more reason.
Let's give her a hand.
Wait until I've sung it. All right. Life can seem a sea of dreams. You float serene till the waves start pounding. Then all you knew is lost from view. All you can do is to keep from drowning, so far away from home. But you are not alone.
Sing with us.
Believe you can rise up and stand and see a brand new day. You can be clear, be real, say what you feel, begin will.
Though your heart's like lead, don't you hang your head. Have no dread for tomorrow. This crooked track is no cul-de-sac. The way winds back out of sorrow. Day will follow night. Wrong will be made right.
Believe you can rise up and stand and see a brand new day. You can be there, be real, say what you feel, begin to feel. You can, you will.
You must have faith, have trust, your soul will mend, you'll sing again. This grief can't kill, can't break your will, as long as you hold fast and stand.
Believe you can rise up and stand and see a brand new day. You can. Yes. Be clear, be real, say what you feel, begin to heal. You will, believe you can. Rise up and stand and see a brand new day. You can be clear, be real, say what you feel, begin to heal. You can, and you will, you will, you will.
Fantastic. Let's give Blair a huge, come on, the biggest hand she's ever received.
They were into it. I love it.
So let's just bless our tithes and love offerings and know that they do the work of this ministry, and they bless all those who receive and all those who give. Amen.
Amen. And as soon as yes, we have. Whew, I lost my breath. We have a pastoral care team as always. You can email Unity of Charlottesville or call our office if you're in need.
Next week, the message is Amazing Grace. And I want to let you know that there was a wedding here yesterday downstairs. They left a ton of food, apparently. So through these doors right after the service, for fellowship, please enjoy, go downstairs and have some of their leftovers. Want to thank everybody. Want to thank Bob. And, I think, both Bob and Amy do such an amazing job here every week. But Bob is, let's just. Thank you, guys. Amy's been a vigilante on this video stuff for months and months and months. So thank you. And our blessing team, I know Buddy and Barbara Olin was on there today, and Tony as well. So thank you for that. The healing helpers are back here if you'd like to pray in a group. And Buddy is here if you'd like to pray individually. And of course, we want to thank a wonderful Blair and our praise singers and our music team. Thank you so much, everybody. So let's stand and join in our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and wherever God is, all is well.
always smile. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
So go out and create a great story of your life this week.
Good job.
You're wonderful.